to be staying with the conversation of immigration, and South Africa's efforts to ramp up immigration enforcement. Musina has once again become the focal point of the country's migration debate. Every day, humanitarian organizations are encountering men, women, and children who have been detained, processed, or are waiting to be repatriated back home. Many arriving with little more than clothes they are wearing and relying on charities for food, for water, shelter, and just basic medical care. And this is all happening while immigration remains a matter of national policy and border security. Conditions on the ground are, equally a pressing humanitarian challenge. Aid organizations say vulnerable people, including children, the elderly, and pregnant women, continue to require urgent assistance regardless of their legal status. And one of those organizations that is on the ground is Africa Muslims Agency. They've been among the organizations providing relief to those passing through Musina, offering meals, hygiene packs, and other essential support. And to help give a first-hand account of what they're seeing on the ground, we're joined by Mohammed Tahir Hamid, volunteer and events coordinator at Africa Muslims Agency. Mohammed, Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah so much for joining us. Good morning.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Salero, always a pleasure to be on your show.
No, pleasure is all ours. And I want to jump right into it. You are on the ground in Musina. Everyone else across the country is seeing very, very disturbing images of what is appearing to be a humanitarian disaster that's just waiting to implode. Just give us, from your perspective and on the ground, almost a picture of what you're seeing when you first made your way to Musina.
So, Alhamdulillah, we always say once again, another opportunity to serve Africa Muslim Agency together with many organizations working in various parts of the country, trying to help those that have been displaced in order for them to leave this country in a dignified manner, serving them solely with the purpose of, providing them a basic need of food and hygiene. So as we speak about Musina specifically, buses coming in by the hundreds. I mean, literally lots and lots of buses just coming in, but at the same time, buses leaving as well. The situation currently in Musina is you're looking at a fluctuation of numbers. At one point you were looking at 15,000 and dropped to 10,000, the feeding that's happening is happening, like I say, with a multitude of organizations, providing food as well as the necessary hygiene items in order to maintain the fluctuation of crowds coming in and out.
And this is Musina. This is a border post usually where people from Zimbabwe would be coming in and out of South Africa. It's an entry point to Zimbabwe. Who are the people that are currently waiting to be processed? Are they mainly Zimbabweans, or are you seeing people from all across the region?
So you're generally looking at the Zimbabweans and the Malawians that are in these camps, and they basically, coming in from various parts of the country, and not only Johannesburg. So buses that are traveling in from Cape Town and from Durban as well. Many buses coming in from Durban, all coming into the field and on the field basically, which is kind of segregated from the town of Musina. It's a few kilometers out onto a farmland where some structures have been put up in order to facilitate the traffic of people coming in and out. And you have various departments that are there, such as the police services, such as the Department of Immigrations, as well as the humanitarian organizations, all working together to process.
And from what you guys have gathered on the ground, what are some of the most immediate humanitarian needs that are those that have gathered on the ground they are in need of?
So definitely food. I think people traveling from far places, I mean, even Johannesburg as well. I mean, the distance is quite far. Joburg being the most nearest point to Musina compared to Durban and Cape Town. When those foreigners do come into this repatriation center, there is obviously a need for food. They've been traveling many kilometers to get to this point. So obviously come in very hungry, very weak, and hence us providing an opportunity together with many other organizations, a facilitation point to feed them so they get their strength, and to provide hygiene stuff such as wet wipes and nappies and soap for toilet roll for those that are actually going to be there for that period of time before they move on to their respective countries.
There was a story that I think broke yesterday. I'm not sure if you are in a position to give us some detail on it. The fact that there was one Malawian national, if I'm not mistaken, who unfortunately lost their lives after being processed. Do you have a bit insight on that? Do you have information on what happened on that front?
Fortunately not. We haven't been briefed on that. And, I just want to say that it is a very difficult situation for those that are traveling. The conditions are not easy for them. You would get tired, you would get fatigued, you would get ill. One of the things that many organizations have been doing at the various points is also medical support, which is to the best of their ability with volunteer doctors and so on. So it is bound with the thousands and thousands of people that there is going to be an unfortunate incident, but also being tried to be managed by many volunteers across the country in their respective spaces.
And one thing that's always an eye opener for me. I was out in I think in Woodmead by the Malawian consulate, and it's an almost similar kind of situation. And I'm pretty sure that many South Africans would view what's currently happening right now as just immigration enforcement. But from your perspective, being on the ground, what would you say is one thing that people may not understand or grasp about the situation on the ground and with those that are being repatriated?
As a humanitarian, we look at the needs of those that are in distress, and that's ultimately the goal point here. People that are in the situations for whatever reason that they may be in it, there is a process to be going home, and there is a need, like we say, to help those get through that process. And that's ultimately our goal. And any humanitarian organization, for that matter, is so that it doesn't make people's lives or lose people's lives, because that would defeat the objective of being in the humanitarian space, being good Samaritans to the next human being, which is critically important. You would see people coming out providing sandwiches or meals and so on to those that have been put into those difficult situations. So looking at that, I think we were on the ground together with Salam Media that particular day, and you would see you from first-hand experience, volunteers coming out, people coming to give food, just so that the journey for those that are traveling back to their respective countries is in a dignified manner, so that's not to avoid a loss of life like we've just experienced.
And lastly, before I let you go, Mohammed, how long do you maybe foresee the situation lasting, and what does AMA require as assistance right now to continue the response out in Messina? How can people get involved and help you help those that are really in need?
So as far as foreseeing how long this is going to go on, it's very difficult to say. It's the numbers obviously are fluctuating day in and day out. The minute you think a particular site has closed down and they may not be, you would see small numbers start coming, and then people start building those numbers up again. So it's very difficult to make a call on that. As far as what's needed on the ground, with obviously there is requirements for feeding as well as for hygiene. And if you are keen in wanting to donate, you can go to africamuslimsagency.co.za and donate through our website, and just reference it as SA Response. And also at the same time, you can contact any of our offices in Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban.
Well, they have it, Mohammed Tahir. So much for joining us. Always a pleasure chatting to you and getting those first-hand insights on your efforts on the ground. And I'm sure our listeners will definitely want to get involved because it's a very, very unprecedented situation. You almost have refugee camp-like, situations unfolding all across South Africa, and the response definitely needs to be overwhelming because it's the most vulnerable that are being affected. So, Chazaka, so much for you and your team for the wonderful work that you're doing.
Jazakallah Salelo to you and your team as well. Really appreciate it.
There you have it. There was Mohammed Tahir, volunteer and events coordinator at Africa Muslims Agency. Giving us insight on the ground, perspective on the work that they've been doing, not only in Messina, they've been all across the country where these repatriation sites have almost organically emerged. And yeah, it's been very, very concerning. I've been to one out in Woodmead at the Malawian consulate, and it was not a pretty sight. I think when you're at home and you're just behind your screen and you're at the comfort of all of the creature comforts that, you are used to, it's pretty easy to say, people must go home, they must leave under whatever circumstances. But once you interact with fellow human beings on the ground, innocent women, children out in this bitter, bitter cold, it puts a lot into perspective. I think it invokes something in you. And if it doesn't, then I'm sure there's something wrong with you. Going to take a quick break. We'll be back with you after this.